It's the North London derby.
It
Hey,
is, isn't it?
it's
What
the
a
one that
horrible time to be having it as well. I'm not.
and it's the one that you've got on your calendar pretty much at the
Yeah.
beginning, right?
Mhm.
You know, when fans all kind of get together and then they're all like, hey, it's let's have a look at the fixtures. In the old days, you used to have Man United and all that stuff and everything. You'd look for where Man United were. You'd look for Christmas, Boxing Day. One of those ones. For you, it's North London derby, right? That's the one that you look for.
Well, and also
As a Spurs fan.
it's also the thing that up until now, mate. I don't know how you feel, but I feel like the season didn't really start. Like it feels like we're still in preseason a little. I know we did, and these games count and they mean
I
stuff,
know
but
what you mean, actually.
it's still summer. It still feels a little bit like a preseason tournament, but now that there's a proper game on, like a serious one, now it might well feel like the actual season has started. But for me, almost the season doesn't start until you watch that Sunday game, and it's dark by the end of the game.
Yes,
Then it
I know it.
started.
Absolutely, none of this sunshine bullshit. What's all that about? Good weather and all that crap.
No.
And water breaks during the Community Shield. What's that about?
God.
That's not Premier League football. God. Mate, let's start with Arsenal because it's a bit of an interesting one. I mean, they would you say they were knocked off their perch last weekend at Anfield, or do you think it's do you think the bubble sort of burst from their semi-positive start to the season, or do you think actually?
Let me give you the exact account of what happened. Now,
okay.
Now, let's rewind and go back a couple of podcasts when someone, I won't name him, but it wasn't me, said, I think David Luiz is a good purchase. I think that'll improve the Arsenal defense. And then the other person, let's not name him, but it was me, said quite unequivocally, they've signed a crack poodle. He's a liability. He's going to make a shit defense even worse, just with bigger hair. Now, let's fast forward to last weekend when they played Liverpool, when I don't want to call myself some kind of hypocritical Nostradamus, but I did get it exactly right. The man
You did.
The man pulled off a certain level of brilliance in that he committed a foul when the last thing he wanted to do was commit a foul. And then for the third goal, he let a player run by him when the last thing he wanted to do was let a player run by him. I can imagine the team talk afterwards was like, here, no foul. No foul. Here, no foul. Got it, David? Got it. Here, foul. No.
Got it.
No foul. No foul. Okay, no foul.
No foul?
Foul? No foul.
They're walking down the tunnel over to the field. He turns around to Xhaka and you go, was it foul or no foul? I can't remember what he said.
Xhaka,
like,
inbox is foul or not? Dick Emery is like, inbox, no foul.
They're coming out the tunnel together with Emery, still discussing it. Foul or not? Foul. Okay, foul. But mate, look, I mean, the first penalty was just stupid, absolutely stupid, and you can see the smile on his face. That when he does it, and when they're lining up for the penalty, and he's kind of like, he can't help himself but smile. He can't help it. He just can't help it at all.
David Luiz's Twitter bio is famously, "I love the life." He literally has just gone, yoink. Oh. That'll be a pen. Oops.
That'll be a pen. There we go. I'm going to protest a little bit. And Monreal, hey, you come here. You protest as well. So it takes it off me a little bit. But yeah, we all know it's a foul. But apparently it's going to VAR. I don't even know why. But anyway, and it did. It went to VAR. He tugged his shirt back and everything. I'd love to know what Luiz actually said to the ref the second after it happened. Because what was it? I think he said, but he kept going. I'm sure that's what he must have said. Like, yeah, I pulled his shirt. That's fine, but he kept going. He didn't fall. He didn't dive. Well, okay, anyway. And he got booked for it, of course. And then I put it to you that on the third one, where he just knocked it past him and just went, he actually gets out of his way because he knows full well that if he any contact, he's got a red. So
I would say you were correct, if it
Hmm.
wasn't for the fact that the individual doing it was the same individual who committed the stupid penalty in the first place. I think
And
you're
who
giving him
left
too much
famously,
cognitive thoughts. Like he doesn't.
and famously let Son
Heung-min
one
Son.
Son Heung-min through in pretty much the same sort of fashion,
Yeah,
in a way, didn't he? It
I'll
was
kick him. I'll kick
yeah.
him. I'll kick him. Oh, I've missed him.
Oh, it's gone through my legs. Yep.
Oh, he's fast.
Um, Mate, Pepe is the first person to dribble past Van Dijk in what, like 50 football matches or something. I
Mate,
want to know what this, what's dribbling past a player? It's what, like, if you just knock it past him and run past him, is that it? Is that what that
yeah.
means?
It
Yeah,
means you have the ball in front of him, and then you get behind him with the ball, mate. That was for me as
regardless
a
of how you do
Tottenham
it.
fan. For me as a Tottenham
Yeah.
fan, that moment when Pepe went through was horrifying. Like I was like, he's going through. He was going through. Oh my god, he's actually really good. Fuck, they piled out 72 million, and he's good. Shit. And then he finishes, and I'm like, oh phew.
Whew.
Oh.
Mate, look, all good and everything. I mean, we could talk until the cows come home about Emery's diamond formation and how it completely failed. But I
They
want to
were good
just
for
switch
half an
because
hour, no?
the first half an
Arsenal.
hour, yeah, you'd
And then they
have to
got
say
undone
that
by a header from a set piece, which, let's face it, can happen to anyone,
can
right?
happen.
And
Yep,
does.
yep.
But the
Um,
capitulation after that was bad.
was bad. Yeah, that was bad and sad. And I mean, Salah's third
Crackpoodly.
goal was very nice and very crackpoodly. Yes. But yeah, no, it was a lovely goal to sort of finish it off. But mate, let's just switch on to Spurs a little bit here because Spurs are not exactly in a great place either, are they? Right now, they've got a terrible record actually at the empty crates. They've got issues with their Danish Great Dane who doesn't seem to want to play, or I don't know if that's the fact, or whether he's just being kept on the bench because he's moaning and whining or whinging on trying to get this move. Vertonghen's also, is it Vertonghen or Alderweireld? I keep forgetting which one is being left on the bench as well because he's having some issues as well. I mean, what's going on? Harry Kane only had 4 touches in the box against Newcastle last week. It's a terrible result for Spurs last week. I can keep going, mate, if you want. You can stop me whenever you want. But
I mean,
um,
you've already started.
do you want to
Um,
finish it quickly? Look? Spurs are not in a good place at the moment, are they? And they're going
no,
to Arsenal, and they've got a terrible record there. So just tell me what you think's going to happen. What do you
it's
reckon?
not far. It's not far to go.
No, it's a bus
It's
ride
yeah,
away. You know,
it's a
yeah,
short
it's
bus
not
ride.
far. You're right. But whenever they go there, or whenever they have gone there in recent times, they haven't done that well. Um, but this is a different Spurs are clearly, which is clearly superior to Arsenal this season. I mean, I think they were
No, not
clearly
this
superior to
season.
last season, but this season it's all
Oh,
gone
mate,
to
we
to.
haven't actually played well since Harry Kane came back against Burnley.
Oh God, it's horrible to say that. Horrible because I mean, all the critics are out and everything, all this crap about when he was out. They were doing tremendously well. Son came into it. It looked like he was really happy, and I mean, it's just but it doesn't make sense. Harry Kane's arguably the best striker in Europe. What kind of team suffers from him coming back into the
Well,
squad?
it's a horrible cliche, but he needs service. And at the end of,
Mm.
well, mate, I don't like to say this, but I do wonder if Pochettino's message is, on the continent they seriously believe in changing the manager because it's just to get a new voice, a new message, something new in there. And
Mm,
I'm just
mm.
wondering if you look at what happened with Pochettino at Espanyol, even look at what happened with Klopp at,
Southampton?
well, no, Southampton he left quite early. But if you look at what happened with
Yeah, it was early doors.
Klopp at Dortmund, for example,
Right,
tremendously
right.
successful, but then had a season which was an absolute capitulation. They were close to the relegation, and I mean, and he left. And I feel like, and even Guardiola's always been very smart at leaving before he needs to.
Mourinho season 3
Yeah,
syndrome.
Mourinho tends to leave before everything goes wrong by making everything go wrong himself. But perhaps he has a shelf life. I wonder if Poch is like it's same players. It's still Dele Alli and Harry Kane. And if you look at the players in the Tottenham squad who aren't really functioning at the moment, it's the likes of Eric Dyer. Mate, what has happened to Eric Dyer? Like, you remember
It's a good
when he was
question.
like, Manchester United wanted to buy him for like 50 million and put him in the base of midfield. They don't want to do that anymore.
Putting in tackles on Sergio Ramos and yeah, it's a shadow of who it was. I mean, what was when Trippier left? He obviously came out and said, things are not right at the moment with Danny Rose, Vertonghen, Eriksson. Sorry, it's not
Alderweireld.
Vertonghen. Sorry, Alderweireld.
No, even
All these.
Vertonghen hasn't signed a new contract. And you've now this year got Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Rose, Eriksson, all going into the last year of a contract, which is just nuts. Either sell them on or sign them up. Do one of the two things. To me, it's totally bizarre. And
Something's not
Trippier's
right
gone.
there.
Trippier's gone, and I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Kyle Walker-Peters is not ready. And Aurier has always been like injury prone and accident prone, and I mean he can be. There's an exceptional player in Serge Aurier if you can get his mind right, but he's tended to be used by Pochettino in games where you need his pace because he's a lot faster than Trippier, and Trippier is gone. And I think honestly, okay, he didn't have the greatest season last year. But I feel at 20 million, he's a bit undervalued. He's only 28. He had a long-term contract left. And I think we let him go and he's having a lovely old time
Yes, isn't he? He's out in Madrid. He's playing well. He's integrating. He's learning the language. He's doing a D Bale. He's doing everything that Bale never did. And mate, I'm really happy for him. I really am.
Me too. I've always liked Trippier. He always tried hard, and he always did his best. He had some defensive issues, but a wonderful footballer. Like his ability to cross a ball and take set pieces and find people, and an intelligent player. Has pace limitations. So I don't. Mate, the short answer to your question is I don't know what's going on with Spurs. I worry it might be time for a change.
Oh, year 6 as well for Poch, isn't it? So this is, 6 is. I mean,
and he's not shown himself to be in the right frame of mind. He keeps talking about leaving and not liking things and changing his title and all of this crap. Sharpen.
It is weird, definitely. So I want to draw back to podcasts of the past and not too distant past as well, where you were waxing lyrical on him. But of course,
I love him, but he doesn't mean he can complain. Think about your kids. You love your kids, but the moment they start complaining, do you not think, "Oh, shut up"? No,
very true. He's like your kid, basically. He's like your child.
I mean, it's a relationship you have with anyone. You love them dearly, you do anything for them. But when they're complaining, there is a part of you that thinks, "Oh, shut up."
Shut up and put the kettle on, for God's sake. Deal with it
later.
Talking.
I can't solve your problems. Leave.
Mate, there is one nice shining light out of all of this, and that is that nobody has scored more goals in a North London derby than Monsieur Harry Kane. And if he comes up trumps here at the empty crates, it will be a very sweet victory, wouldn't it? I mean, and it would be maybe something that could catapult Spurs forward in a way that the team obviously really needs now.
Mate, I hope Dele's back, and I hope he puts Dyer in, because Dyer, Dele, and Harry hate Arsenal, and that's all I want. That's all I want is I want people who hate Arsenal, who can't stand them. He'll kick the crack poodles in the head if needs be. That's what I want. I want a battle.
There you go. All right. Well, that's the 4:00 kickoff. I'm not even sure who the bookies putting as favourites. I would imagine that it will be very, very close, with Spurs possibly just edging it. But because it's at the empty crates, I think it'll be very close. Mate, let's have a quick break and let's come back and talk about the rest of the Premier League action.